I'll be interested to see if they play their good players here, Korea. I wonder if they'll hold them back. Hey, those jersey numbers are a bit easier to see. I think they've changed jerseys, haven't they? They must have been listening to the criticism.
Well, they had the red one on, or was it a darker one on?
Yeah, but the black one has a little circle, doesn't it, around the number, I think. Yeah. Do you know the name of that South African referee?
Ben, that's all I heard.
Oh, okay. Oh, where's Oakley? He'll know.
Might be looking for some cover for this area.
Well, I did, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, some tarpaulins might be. Mind you, that cuts down the breeze, doesn't it? If the rain comes straight down, I'll be happy. Like a young wahine. Oh, Chili's is open down the end there, mate.
Chili's is sponsoring. They doing the Sunday night.
Oh, are they? Geez,
that'll match dinner.
Oh, excellent. That might get me along if I get an invite.
Clark Key.
Oh,
nice. Just tell the tournament director that you will be coming along.
Yeah. The new one. They've got an outdoor area there, haven't they?
Is that on the corner, is it?
Yeah,
I saw that last night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, about 8:30 I think the dinner is.
Oh, superb. Come on, let's get it going. Oh, sure, mate. Come on, Captain Wheezy. He's like a Swiss train station manager. Must go on time, on the second. It's good to see, eh? We like organisation. Welcome back to the Asian 7 Series, brought to you by HSBC. It's a Pool B game between Korea and the United Arab Emirates. Korea are 4th on the series roster at the moment with 25 points, and UAE are 12th equal with just the 1 point.
Well, as you mentioned earlier on, Mike, could be one of the teams could make a couple of upsets this tournament with Korea. It sounds like they've come along with a very formidable side.
Yeah, no, I'm picking them to be a bit of a dark horse. Just looking at some of the calibre of their players, and they've only retained 2 of the players from the Indian tournament where they were so disappointing. They lost to Thailand in the semi-final of the plate. After losing to Malaysia in the quarter-final of the competition. Yeah, the wheels really came off, and of course their coach, Mr. Sung, was banned from the tournament on the Sunday for a bit of misbehaviour on the sidelines. So Korea go away for the first try of the game. It's Hwang In-ju who got some real leg drive going. It's carried him away to score the try. Not very big in-goal areas here at the Yio Chu Kang Stadium with the running track around the outside, so some of these players are going to have like a parachute like the dragster races, aren't they, to slow down and get that ball down.
Well, they got be a bit of pressure to put it down fairly early in the piece as well. So, and it was inevitable to have the first game with the Chinese player knocking it on, maybe ran out of space.
Yes, because you kind of look, you realise you're near the try line, you look down, and all of a sudden the dead ball line looms as well, as we see Korea successful there with the conversion.
Well, if you look back also, Mike, you can't take anything away from the UAE side, and you can see just the outright pace there for the Koreans just comes through and scoring that try. But going back to early on what I said, the UAE have actually performed absolutely courageous over the last 3 events.
Yeah, they're obviously not at this level yet. Not entirely competitive with the top teams, but once we saw them play some of the lower teams in the extended competitions, it showed they've picked up some real skills and confidence in the tackle area. They didn't win a game in Malaysia, but in Thailand they beat Uzbekistan and then lost to India, and then they beat Afghanistan and India and lost again to India in the semi-final of the Shield. So a couple of wins on the series this year, but it's all building. Coach Apelli is a very laid-back character and he's in no hurry. But yeah, some of them are showing some real bright sparks once they come to grips with the game. I mean, some of these players have only been playing for 6 months. Saoud, the man here on the near side of the scrum for UAE, he's a big strapping boy and scared of nothing. It'll be interesting to see him develop over the next year or two. Oh, tight head to UAE. Oh no, in fact it's a scrum put in, sorry, for... So here's a new man. We haven't seen Abbas before with the curly hair. It's a good venture for him into the first contact area. That's Cyrus there, one of the senior players. Oh, a little knock on as he went to ground. That's a shame. But again, we're slowly seeing the structure from UAE.
Yeah, and as I was talking to their coach last night, and he said it's not going to happen overnight. As Rome wasn't built overnight. And he said it's got a nice strategic plan for these boys, and just keep them motivated, and they're going to get better and better by playing these specific tournaments.
Well, Dubai wasn't built overnight either, although it was built in about 20 years, wasn't it? So I'm sure they'll be fast-tracking it along if they can. It's great when you see those pictures of how Dubai used to look, right, 20 years ago, and compared with today. It's just sprouted up in the middle of the desert, hasn't it? So there's a good analogy for you. As we see Korea in possession here. A little dummy there from Kim Gwon-ming. And away goes Lee Myung-jun. He's sharpish, isn't he? Second fastest in the team, apparently, according to manager Tana. And showing some good pace there.
You do look at the UAE when they had a bit of possession, Mike, take out the knock on, they look quite structured for a period of time. So
yeah, and
just need to hold on to that ball for longer periods, Mike, and they could be into, I think they'll be celebrating again at a point anyway, but here again it's just that simple. The gap opened it up, eventually just the UAE just couldn't capitalise, and here we are, Korea, another 5-pointer.
Lee Myung-jun from the Korean University. Jun-ki, the kicker, will restart. This man's looked sharpish too. Lee Gyo-duk from Samsung. There's Han Hong-kyu, who's been in around the Asian rugby scene for. There's no scrum half, so good. Oh, just wasn't out there. Littlewood says, the referee. Here's Kim Hyung-soo, who's one of my personal favourite players in Asia. And he gets it to his support player, Hwan In-ju, who goes over for his second try of the game. Yes, number 2, Kim Hyung-soo. He's been out with an injury for 18 months or so in the foot. And Korea have missed him in the 15s realm as well. But he seems to be back to full fitness now, which is good for Korea. There's Hong Joon-ki, lines up another conversion, and over it goes as well. So good work from Korea, just pacing themselves. A big game later today with Malaysia, who upset them in the quarterfinal of the Indian tournament. They're in the same pool this time, so it will be a grudge match extraordinaire, and I'm sure Korea are aggressive at the best of times, they'll be really up for that game against Malaysia. That'll be later this afternoon, so keep watching us on YouTube. Here's Han Kuk Kyu going up for the ball and claiming it nicely in the air. But referee judges that he's knocked it on. And we have a replacement player coming on. It's number 12 for Korea, Lee Yong-seun, 22-year-old, who replaces the man who scored the first couple of tries, Hwang In-ju. Looks like he might be struggling a little bit there. Korea, they've had a bad run with the injuries in this tournament. That's what really got them in the last couple of tournaments, some bad injuries. As Adele knocks on at the bottom of the scrum. This is Kim Hyung-soo, who really is a lovely player to watch when he's got the ball in his hands. Beautifully balanced runner. He gets the try from Kepco. So Korea racking them up against the UAE. Hong Joon-ki with a conversion, and that'll make it half time. So pretty one-way traffic here so far. Busy counting, but at least 4 tries to 0.
Yeah, I know that Korea is sort of making their opportunities pretty much out of nothing, really. It seems like the UAE defence has just been dribs and drabs and committing too many to the contact area. So, but a nice hit up for Korea anyway in the first 7 minutes anyway, Mike, and I'm sure that's going to be a good positive thing going into the tournament, as you mentioned on a couple of grudge matches, and you know, I'm sure these coaches are out there with the halftime score 28 points to 0, so that's quite a significant lead. I'm sure they should. If I was coaching Korea at the moment, I'd probably say, you know, we need to up the tempo and double that score to set your standard up or set your mark up for the rest of the tournament.
So Coach Appelli there. Getting a bit animated. We don't see that very often with Appelli, but he's obviously a little annoyed with some of the display on defence, and he's walked away from the scrum to let them work it out for themselves. He's planted the seed, yeah, and just a couple of parting comments as well as he walks away. Well, for UAE, it's just getting the ball as well, isn't it? Getting their hands on the ball and gaining confidence.
Absolutely.
Well, that's cooled things down nicely, that light shower, hasn't it? I wonder if we can just keep it at that as Littlewood wipes the sweat off his brow.
Well, it will be interesting to see how the rotation of the referees this tournament, where I think they had a little competition in India and who can do the most games or who can have the longest extra time there, Mike.
Oh, yes. It's a real change of scene from the Maidan, downtown Bombay, to suburban Singapore, that's for sure. But what a lovely spot they both were. We've been so lucky and privileged to see some great rugby in some fantastic places in the last couple of months, Dino, haven't we? We started in KL downtown. It was a rainy old weekend, but it was good fun. Then out to the beach in Thailand, in the middle of Mumbai, and now out in suburban Singapore. So we've seen it all.
Exactly.
As Adele will put the ball into this scrum. 2 Adeles this weekend. Adele Al-Hindi, this one. Just 18-year-olds. Plays for Harlequins. And also represented the UAE at under 19 level. So some good promising players here from the UAE. Or big scrum though from Korea. But Adele manages to salvage things. Good work from him. Ball on the plate. Shaheen with a lovely pass. Shaheen, 6 months playing the game of rugby. Sideways running there, sadly, though, from Yusuf. So there's a knock-on. Korea will take advantage here, I'm sure. Just surveying the scene is Kim Kwang-min. Playing more of a linking role, Kim, at the moment. He's got outrageous pace. And here's Kim Kyung-soo. A strong loose forward from Korea. Gets smashed 3 times there by UAE. Hong Joon-ki decides to snipe down the blind side and manages to keep those boots inside the field of play as well for a nice try for Hong Joon-ki. That will add to his 4 conversions. So already he scored 13 points in this match. On the substitutes bench is Oh Yun Kyung, who's their regular kicker, who's just coming on the field, in fact.
Just the physicality difference between these two sides there, Mike, and basically the UAE players have just sort of been shrugged off every time.
Yeah, they did well to hit the ball carrier there with Kim Kyung-soo, but they tackled him once, twice and 3 times, so there were 3 of them on the ground when the ball came out at the back of the Korean ruck. So it was oh so easy for Hong Joon-ki just to pick up the pieces and really take advantage of the numbers. As Coach Apelli discusses things there with the UAE bench. Here's Han Kong-kyu again, superb in the air. Good to have him back. This is Im Jae-bong. Lots of slowing down at the ruck, but Lee Yong-sen gets it out. Here's Kim Gwon-min, who's been very quiet so far, playing at centre. He's usually the flyaway wing. Puts in an interesting kick, though, that teases and tempts the UAE defence. But it's gone out in the full. Sorry, out dead. So player 22. Abbas there, well, he's only had 1 touch of the ball and he broke the line, Abbas, so looks like he might have done himself an injury there.
We haven't seen him this tournament or before this tournament there, Mike. So.
No. So they're unearthing some talent, that's for sure, on a weekly basis. What are we doing? There's a bit of a discussion what happened. So we've decided to go for a scrum, a 5-metre scrum. It looks as though the UAE man may have kicked it out. And that's what the debate was.
Yeah, it's either gone and kicked it out in touch or in goal.
Yes.
So,
yeah, the original decision was that Korea kicked it dead, but yeah, a little toe there on the ball from UAE. So superb position here for Lee Myung-jun and his Korean team. Lee from the Korean University. Saw him just score a try in the first half. Free kick. Here he is, Lee. In fact, it's Han Kong-kyu who takes it quickly. Referee just being a little fastidious about the mark. So here's Lee, who'll restart again. Still not happy. Did look like they'd taken the ball behind the mark. There it is, finally to the referee's satisfaction. It's a horrible pass, but Kim Kyung-soo does well to pick it up. Again, poor pass. Knock on, so a series of errors from Korea. And that allows UAE to come away.
Well
and
done,
they get
UAE.
a boot. Here's Adele, who's taking on Lee Yong-sen in the race to the line. Adele goes down on him on the ground, which will probably be a penalty yet. Just a little bit of naive play there from Adele. Just needed to let him get to his feet. So fast counter-attack here from Korea. Again, a sloppy pass. The game's won from Korea, and as you said, would have been good for them to put their foot on the pedal, but they're still coming away. Knock on though there from Lee Yong-sen. Playing advantage now for UAE. Another knock on. Ball's just getting a little slippery with the rain.
It is, Mike, and it's a shame that young Adele put a lot of pressure on with that kick through, and just that small law with not releasing the player, let him get up again, and he had so much pressure on, could have even scored it himself, but that could have been I wouldn't say a turning point, but that would have been a huge booster for the UAE boys, and they're not giving it up anyway. So, but as I said, the Koreans should have been up another 3 more tries by now, but the conditions, I think, of the ball is not helping either.
Well, the other thing about sevens is too, it can be a bit of a game of poker, can't it, over the tournament. You don't want to show your hand too early. If you're 28-0 at half time, psychologically you want to push on to make sure you maintain high standards, but maybe there's something in just taking your foot a bit off the pedal anyway, making sure that no one's really taking much notice of you. So,
and I think also, I suppose when you're up so many points, you'd want to make some changes to give your team, the rest of your balance of your playing team, some game time.
Adele to put the ball into the... it's a big scrum again from Korea. They come away with it through O. Here's Lee Gyu-juk, who gets it to Kim Gwon-min. Nice inside ball to Oh Yun Kyung, who gets a break, and he's able to go all the way. Good try there from Oh Yun Kyung. Ran a nice line down the touchline. The defence got across. Abbas, I think it was, who dragged him down, but no hands on him, so he was fully within his rights to get to his feet again. And that's exactly what he did. He's got 35 points so far in the series, Oh Yun Kyung. Only really played the first one in KL, then got injured early on in Thailand, missed Mumbai. So good to have him back. One of the standout players for Korea in the 15s Asian Five Nations, where Korea heavily defeated Hong Kong. And that's the end of the game here at Yio Chu Kang Stadium, Pool B game. South Korea taking it out against UAE with a reasonably promising performance. It's Oh Yun Hyung, who just came on a few minutes ago to replace Hong Joon Ki. And you see there, not a finger on him, so able to get up and go over the line for the last try of the game. So final score, South Korea taking out this match 38 points to 0 over the UAE.
Must be a kids match coming up at some stage.